There is a question that lives in the quiet space, before we speak, before we act. It is the shadow of hesitation, the whisper that says, "Is this all there is?" We look at our days, the work, the conversations, the small ambitions, and wonder if a life can ever feel complete. If the noise inside could ever settle into a single, clear note. Long ago, on the banks of a river called Pima, there lived a man named Kalaya. He was a goldsmith. His hands worked with precious metal all day, shaping it, polishing it. And one day, a thought occurred to him, not from any teacher, but from the gold itself. He thought, why shouldn't my life become like this? Not that he would become rich from the gold, but that his very existence could take on its quality, its weight, its luster, its value. Life itself should become gold. And from that feeling, a vision was born. He began to see the world differently. He would say, "Wherever I look, there I see only you." Waking up, he saw only that presence. Walking through his town, he saw only that presence. In every face, every tree, every stretch of riverbank. It wasn't a wish. It was a state he had reached. I am seeing it like that. In the same land, there was a woman named Remov. Her work was with a spindle, spinning raw cotton into thread. All day, her hands turned the wheel, drawing out a fine yarn. It was not a grand occupation. No fortune would come from it. But as she worked, she listened. She listened to the sound the spindle made as it turned, a soft, rhythmic whir. And in that sound, her mind became absorbed. The thread came from her hands, but her awareness filled with the resonance. It began to sound like the primordial hum, the Omkara. It went straight into her being. She spun not to produce something to sell, but to feel the joy within the act itself. She left a simple saying. The yarn was spinning, the spindle was filling. For her, this was the whole of spiritual practice. Our task is to spin the thread of our attention, to draw it out moment by moment, without breaking it, without letting it spoil. To fill the spindle of our awareness until, at the end, there is a feeling of fullness, a life that hasn't become empty. We lie down at night and we might say, from morning to evening, the yarn spun. Lying down now, the spindle is full. And in that acknowledgement, a life becomes meaningful. But our minds rarely feel like a full spindle. More often, they feel like a crowded street. As soon as we close our eyes, a parade of worries and old stories begins. Conflicts, judgments, the noise of what someone said or didn't say. The entire epic of our anxieties plays on a loop inside. Nothing outside, it's all prepared inside. And Rimov asked, if the mind becomes this corrupt, what is the meaning of living? Her answer was to return to the sound, to let the gossip of the town wash past. People would come to her door with the latest news, the rumors, the judgments. And she would simply say, "Look, the yarn is spinning. The spindle is filling. I am hearing the sound." They would leave, saying she was not in a state to listen. And she was not. She had chosen her state. This is the choice. Not to build a wall against the world, but to select what we let fill the vessel of our attention. The world will always have its oppositions. Praise and blame, honor and dishonor. People who are one thing today and another tomorrow. If there were no current to swim against, what would be the point of building strength? The practice is to face the stream, and yet to keep spinning your own clear thread within it. To fill your mind not with the noise of the marketplace, but with the quality of Kalaya's vision. Wherever you look, to see the essential goodness, the underlying presence. And with the quality of Ramov's attention, to find in the very rhythm of your work the sound that contains the divine. We listen to so much. We let a single careless word ruin a day's peace. We allow the good things to be scattered by a passing comment. This is the opposite of the teaching. The teaching is to let it go, or more beautifully, to let it play out and let it go. Keep such words in your mind. Let them become the soil. A mind filled like a garden will, when you look inward, show you flowers, shade, stillness, not useless things. The purpose is to spin the yarn, to take the raw, unrefined stuff of your moments and draw from it a continuous, unbroken thread of awareness, and to fill the spindle with that attention until it is full, until the last moment. Then you close your eyes, not forever, but for the night, with the feeling it is full, and in that fullness, life becomes sweet. This is the Atma theory. If these ideas resonate with you, join us on this journey. Clear mind, meaningful life.